$5 free roll. Just all you missed was the first hand. I'm just getting in here a little bit late, I guess. Let's see. There are 68 people who entered, and there's gonna be late registration for 10 minutes. So I'm guessing it'll be around 80-ish, which is pretty typical for the last one today. $45 free roll. 10 people to place. Yeah, not much to do that. I mean, this is kind of exciting. I haven't recorded a video like this before, so it might be interesting. We'll find out. I just want to kind of go through my thoughts as the tournament progresses, and mostly just, you know, for the aspect of I want to see what others think about my game, but also, I just kind of thought it'd be fun. I could maybe introduce people to carbon poker, and even more cool, to PokerOwned.com, because that's a great community of people, and one of the most fun poker sites I've been on. And they offer a lot of free rolls, and I think there's like 10 a day or something, and 4 of them are carbon, and it's just a lot of fun, and a really good bankroll boost, and it's helped me a lot in my game, and improves in my game, and yeah, so that's a basic premise what I'm going to do, and I'm going to talk about. Now, as you can see, I'm using Poker Tracker software, and I'm in the middle of a trial, actually, because I had another year subscription to a different one, and it expired, of course, so just for the time being, I thought, hey, I'll just use this trial. It's, a 30-day trial or whatever, and yeah. So, I mean, as I play, you're going to have to see that trial. Please register, right? In big letters across my screen, but whatever. So, you can see the action's getting going here, and I haven't really entered a pot yet. I tended to play, more conservatively the first maybe 20 hands or so. I kind of want to get a feel for my, my field in this tournament. And I mean, I have a lot of data on a lot of these players because I've played a lot of these free rolls, and like Rocket's Dawn, you can see I have a red number, 565 hands I've played with. But there's some people here, like I haven't played these codes webs before. I think I've seen them on this, but yeah. And it's kind of nice, the first level, 8-minute levels, you start with 2,000 chips and 100 big blinds. And really, that allows me to play without taking a bunch of chances, because in free roll, a lot of these players here are going to play like ATC poker. They want to see any 2 cards, and and stuff. And I have to come up with a strategy to combat that, because I mean, even though there's 8 minutes levels, it's still fairly turbo, and I don't have time to sit here and wait for aces, kings, and ace king every time I want to play a hand. So I mean, and will I get paid off for it? Hit 4 of a kind things, damn. Even if I do hit those hands. So I like to play early on to see flops cheap, and let other players like join me cheap and kind of play them after the flop, because early on I'm probably better than majority of the players. I mean, there are a couple exceptions. I think that Rocket Dawn is an excellent player. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of a weak table for this tournament. No offense to anybody here if you're watching this, but I mean, this general idea aspect of what I'm trying to do. Yeah, I don't know, Sweet Hang, I have a note on him. I can't remember. I can see that he's played fairly aggressively in my data. Yeah, so, I mean, he calls pretty lightly with his value bet. I don't think I can get him off the hand, so even though I have a semi-draw here, I think it's more beneficial for me. Just check along, and if the queen has good, go for it. If not, maybe I'll get like 4. I didn't hit my 4. I don't see any way he's folding if he has me beat. Yeah, there you go. So, I lost the minimum there, which is fine. I don't think he would have folded even on the flop. I bet into him, just having played with him in the past. He's a pretty aggressive player, and he only folds to c-bets, like 7 out of the 20 times this came up. And it probably is even best for just, flop bets in general. So, yeah, Code Webs, I know very limited data on, but he seems to be a tight player. He's doubling the blind, so I'm assuming, he has maybe a medium-sized pocket pair, and maybe like 2 suited connector cards. I don't know. I'd be out of position. If I was in position, I'd think about just seeing a flop, seeing what happens. But I'm out of position. I'm just gonna fold here. Roman calls. I'm not really that familiar with him either, but he seems to be one of those players. That when he plays, he bets. And then he c-bets no matter what, and stuff. And I mean, so if he's first into a pot. So I mean, I haven't played with him. I'm just going to assume, he's a decent player, because the only times I think I've sat down with him have been later in tournaments, but I don't know that. I'll rather wait to find out. Now, I'm on the button here, which is a good spot to be in. Ooh, 100 bet. I don't know if I like that. Yeah, okay, so this guy here, he only folds the c-bets, 25% of the time. They just raised up to 100, and he's under the gun. He's fairly tight pre-flop, but especially with raises, looks like he only raises 58% of the time. With so I mean, if I hit a 5, I'm golden, but 100 chips out of position is kind of a loose call. I'm gonna do it because I think I can stack him if I hit it, because he does fold so under regularly, and if I whiff, I whiff, I guess. But I mean, yeah, and that's a horrible flop for 2 5s. And I'm getting that right into. I practically have the odds, to call, or not anymore. For 20, I practically have the odds to call for the turn set, but I'm just gonna let these two do what they want to do and waste 100 chips. But you know what? If I hit my 5, I think I got a lot of value. There you go. The king hits. Now I played a lot with 50th State. Not a lot, but later in tournaments especially, and he seems to be fairly solid. He doesn't seem to be the player who does a lot of the betting and the raising. Yeah, he had ace queen, he had king 10. So I mean, neither of them did much wrong. I just need to hit my 5s. Yeah, and this is a spot too. I'm gonna be probably last to act. I don't think 50th State's likely gonna call here, just knowing what I know about him. And just because I'm in position, I'm just gonna take this flop and hopefully I'll play him after the flop. Now I don't like how Sweet Hangs is in here because he's probably gonna call me in the flop. But I know that that 977 is tilting a little bit. I'm tilting it. Probably could have pissed about losing that last hand. So I just think it's a bad spot to just try to take us down to 70 or 70. I don't want to care that much. It's not nothing compared to the amount I could risk trying to get it. Yeah, I have the flush draw. I have no idea if flush draw is good. I think I just minimized my losses and I don't have it because you could be doing anything. There you go. Wow, you had a big hand. So I don't want to hit my flush. I probably lost more money. So I think that didn't really do much wrong there. Maybe I shouldn't be flipping because Sweet Hangs in the pot. I'm not sure. I think it's borderline. I don't care. I don't know. My Sweet Hangs can be in the pot again. If I hit, I could probably get a lot of value off of him, but I don't know what he has. He could be calling me down with anything. When I wouldn't know, if my king hit and he has a bigger king, I could cost you a lot of chips. That's stuff. Yeah, and actually 50th State raised behind me, so I'm probably. I'm pretty lucky getting involved and I hit nothing, and maybe now I could have hit flush or something. But I mean, like I said, I like to be more conservative in the first 20 hands or so, and I can kind of open up more later. Jack, King, Jack. If I would hit my king, I'd be in pretty bad shape. How much of that? If we basically a roll reversal, king 10 versus ace queen, not the other way around. King with a king jack versus the other ace queen on the other side. Kind of funny. Okay, now I'm just going to fold here. Nothing spectacular about that decision. No, so there's probably going to be around 80 people that entered. Let's see, it's not quite 10 minutes, but load silly thing. 2. Yeah, so okay, so 74. 2 minutes left for late registration. So yeah, it might be like 76, 77. Okay. So but it's interesting because I'm already down to 53rd, maybe 51st, so 68 players. Position-wise, considering, I've only played that one hand of 5s and folded, and I lost 100 chips. But at the same time, I think I played right there, and yeah, I don't want to miss any good and valuable information on my table, so I'll get out of that. But, I mean, I think that, this early on, I'm not going to really be focusing on that. I have a very healthy stack. I still have 93 big blinds, and I just don't like to focus on, the little things that is... my stack compared to the average, and I usually hide this actually when I'm playing by myself, and I don't care. I just avoid it, and I just try to look at my stack in big blinds versus my table stack in big blinds, and just trying to make my decisions based on that, because I'm really healthy stacked, and I can take the little risks to win a lot. Now here, I have a good hand to maybe limp in with, but I'm in early position, and anyone who raised behind me, I'll be able to call then, and I think I'll just fold. I don't mind a call there, but especially with players like, they're seeing any 2 cards, I can hit a gin flop with like a 9-6, like a 9-6-5 type of a flop, and I get a lot of money from somebody who, maybe just has like a solid 8 or something, you know what I mean? But, I don't know, solitary, not solid. I mean, I just feel like, yeah, that would have been a really bad flop for me. I just feel like, whenever I have a marginal decision early on, I might as well just fold, because there is nobody here, who's going to be folding to c-bets or to, do flop bets unless they literally have 3-4 offsuit, and the 3 overcards on the board. But these players are just really any 2 card, and let's call along the way. And to me, it's like I want to just wait for my spots and find a hand with a lot of value, so I can actually get hopefully an early big chip stack from all at once. I don't feel like just playing garbage is really the way to do that. And here's the same thing. The blind just went up recently, and now I'm down to 62 big blind. So that's the difference between blinds. Like either way, I'm really healthy stacked. I'm not really worrying about having only 62 blinds. I mean, that's still very deep, especially in a tournament play. But I would prefer to just see to see how really deep stack play, and just really wait for aces, kings, and just trap these players. But the problem is I have to get those hands in order to do that, and poker is bitch. The worst players can win, and if I don't get those hands, I have to find other ways to accumulate chips, and patience probably my key there. Sweet hang, and it's like every hand, and finally he runs into queens up there, and he plays against a king queen who hit a king and then turned to flush draw, and he had since lose quick 1,000 chips or whatever he lost. I'm kind of surprised he didn't lose a stack knowing him, but or like a double up code webs. By the way, I'm recording this, and just if anyone from PokerOwned is watching it, I'm sorry if I'm offending you, or if I'm saying something bad about your play or good about your play. You can use it against me later on if you want. You can, slow play the nuts against me, sweet hang. I'm not trying to, diss you in any way, shape, or form. I'm just trying to where my thoughts come from and why I feel the way I do, and I'm sorry. So just want to get that out there and clarified right now. Okay. Now, nothing exciting here, I don't think. The fact that, there was a race pre and then now they're just limping is kind of peculiar to me. Because it's all the high cards on the board, they probably all have a king, or maybe they don't have a king. But, I bet 50th State had a king and just finally got there, and I don't know what, maybe 97th had a small pair under all that, or, because they were all pretty tight players, I wouldn't expect them to get 2 out of line early, unlike, sweet hang, or, just kind of a tight table for one of these tournaments, actually. I kind of want to be moved tables, because this is a very fun table to talk about, to be honest, but that's alright. Ooh, so now CoWebs is betting, I don't know whatever that is, hijack or whatever, and well, you know what I mean. Then I feel like I'm gonna be out of position. I put 60 more in, 60, 135, and I probably should be folding here. I just don't know that much about him other than he's pretty tight, but I feel like this is a spot where if I hit a big flop, I can just get a ton of value out of him, and if not, I'll lose 60. And, the fact that he's the one betting is allowing me to check to him if I hit a big flop too, even though I'm out of position. I think I'll just let him happen, and it didn't hit, so now I can just check fold. But, since he probably hit the ace, I guess bet. Yeah, so now he bets a lot. Just folds. If they hit a flop, with like 5-4 ace or something, he had an ace in his hand, I could have gotten a lot of money out of that. I mean, it's not, the ideal hand to be playing, but it's not the kind of cards to be putting me on either, and I can probably, would have gotten a lot of money if that happened. So now here I have King Jack. Whew, this is a mouthful. I'm talking kind of fast, too. Hopefully you guys can understand me. Yeah, I feel like, in this spot, right here, against a tight player, and the other position, assuming that, pwned folds, I feel like my best play might be just a double the small blind. He might just give it to me. I kind of doubt he will. Ooh, well, that kind of changed my play. Well, I'll say I don't have him folding his C-bets. One does, only the other one had. Yeah, well, pwned plays, fairly small hands. I mean, when he plays, he usually pre-flop bets. He could even just be trying to steal these blinds. I'm going to be out of position. I don't really like playing out of position, but I'm going to do it. Ooh, I hit my jacks. A couple of them. So, obviously the best hand here. I know pwned will continue. He always c-bets. I have to check this. I'm sure, there's nothing that's going to beat me on the turn. I mean, really. So, I'm just gonna let him do a fire here. He always does. If he doesn't, I'm be shocked. I'd be absolutely shocked. Come on, fire, fire, fire! See, timed out. Oh, well, I'm sure he could have it. Same thing here. He easily could have an ace. I don't know if he just timed out or if he decided to check. Actually, I think he timed out. Yeah, he returned. So he timed out. You can see that in the bottom, in the chat bar. Oops, I think you see that mouse too. And okay, so he bets 30. That kind of surprised me. Maybe opponent had just nothing, and he just want to get an ace, and get an ace. I'm just gonna call here. If he does have an ace, he'll bet again, I'm sure. Yeah. And now, I should raise, but I don't know how much to raise. I thought he'd bet more than that. I want to make it look like a bluff if I can. I can do an over bet. I think if he has an ace, he'll likely call. He's fairly tight. Try that. It's a big number, but I think it could get a call from an ace. If he actually has an ace, if you're not just trying to take it down. Or unless he thinks somebody's out kicked. But yeah, that's kind of the thought going in my mind. But because I have one king covered too. Let's see. And I'm gonna show him to tell him, hey, I'm not messing around. Don't bet into me, because he's the player, behind me, and he's probably gonna have position on me in my blinds. So I don't want him to be betting into me down the road there. So if I want him, I want to know, hey, because he's a tight player, he won't be betting into me unless he's pretty sure he's good. So I know that I'm giving a lot of free information by showing there, but at least I think that, if he's good enough to, I think he is. I think he's 56, a pretty good player. Good enough to know, yeah, that's what he's doing. Here, I have a good hand. Actually, a really good hand. And normally here in a heartbeat, I would say, hey, call. And I'm going to be in position, all that stuff. But the problem is that if I hit an ace, anyone can have a bigger ace, including opponent, and I could lose a ton of money. I hate, medium, small aces, because I never know if they're good, if I hit an ace. And I've lost a lot of money even in ace-queen versus ace-king type spots. In the past, it's actually been one of my biggest losing spots. And I've actually probably have lost more money with ace-queen than any other poker hand. But I just feel like in that spot right there, oh damn it, it's great, damn it. But I just feel like in that spot right there, I don't think I could confidently play all the way through a hand, especially knowing he's gonna be betting into me in every street regardless if I hit or not. And he would have gotten his probably his whole stack. And he had ace king, he called nothing. That's a sweet hang up there. That's what he does. And he's down after doubling up on the very first hand of the tournament. He's down to 800 chips. Like, that's just how he plays. And he takes these huge swings, and he usually ends up, to anything just short of the money when it's like, why did you just tighten up once you get a stack? And I never quite understood, his play. Like, why does he do that? He never raised pre-flop. He just limp, 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 limp. 53% of the hands he plays pre-flop, but he only raises 3% of the hands pre-flop. So, when he's playing pre-flop, like, 1 in 20 times the raise. If he raises fold, it's ace or something. It's just like, I don't understand. But, all I'm doing he does, and let him work things out for himself, and he can play his own game, I'll play mine. Not much to talk about here. If I wasn't playing against Sweet Hang, I might make it like just 100, not because I have a good hand, but because it's a good chip up spot if there's a tighter player there. There isn't a tighter player there. Overall, I only have 40 big blinds. Now that the blinds are going up, and I don't have a ton of gambling chips anymore. Just too bad that I didn't hit one monster before this. That would have been really, really nice. Yeah. And I'm looking back, the hand where I was playing a 50 estate and folded his ace, and I had the king jack, and trip jacks. I'm thinking now if I would have just raised, to 100, even though there's so much in the pot, I could have probably gotten a lot more value out of him, or 150. I think that his kicker with his ace was really bad, and he thought he might have been up kicked, or like with ace king or something for me, and I think that I might have scared him off that way. Which is peculiar because he checked. I checked to him, twice. Sweet Hang gets it in with, no made hand, he just draws. And he loses it. Okay. And moved to new table. This is probably interesting. Okay, here's a good table. Much better table than the last one. My cracker's not going to come up for a minute, but just background, co-web's still with us. Yeah, fold. This, I don't even know how to say his name, DEC guy over here. He's an excellent player. Probably, one of the top 10, 15 players on PokerOwned, and he's one of those types of people, who I kind of don't like to tangle with because I have a really hard time playing against. He's a lot better than I am. So yeah, I'm just lending with my 9s here. I could have taken him for a raise, but people play slow in this game. I don't know, and they just limp passively, and I think that a bunch of limpers beats one person calling for 150, and I'm disguising that I have a pair that way too. I think it could be argued either way, especially if it's under the gun. I don't know. But the other thing about this is really tight. PC, how do you say it? I think that either from the jack or bet. I think that, a 9 will call. I think that, oops, that's something a little funky here. I think that, for a small bet into the pot. I guess I'm wrong. I'm not wrong, but nobody had anything to call with. Rookman's really tight. He's also a really good player. I haven't played much with him. I think he's fairly new to the site. I haven't played much with Code, Lions Forever, or Hooking Antelope either. This is a player, a table of players that are probably all pretty new to the site. JDubFish JDubFish isn't new, really, but for the most part. Okay, we're all in here. Greg is trying to triple up. He only has 54 chips coming into it. I mean, it doesn't really matter what I do. I don't know. He does call. I'm sure I'm beat here. Or maybe not. Oh. I don't think I played that right. I wasn't really paying attention, to be honest. Okay, but, if he makes a comeback, then that'd be kind of cool. And I can't call it 10-6, so I don't know. Rookman's tight. I think he gets blinds here and he's getting up to 237. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Well, she had a hand. JDubFish is a pretty tight player, but once again, he's a good player. You can't see the hand number. He's 227. I've played with him. Between him and DEC, we got two good players here. Still, once again, there's not a bunch of excellent players that POs offer at this table. I don't even know how many of them are actually in this tournament, but I can kind of point them out because there are a lot of really good players on the site, and that are involved with them haven't hit a table yet, which is probably a good thing. But yeah. Not a small ace here. I hate these kind of hands. I just never can play these well. They're hard, and if I'm facing a red, I'll just fold. And in late position like that, I might have limped and hoped, but I don't know, because against two tight players. And I like being next to tight players a lot better than being next to looser players, because I can in the spot against tighter players, I'd probably just against loser players, I'd probably just limp and get a bunch of money. In this spot, I'm just gonna raise it to 200, min raise it. So, I'll thread in hands like King 8, Queen 9, just to fold. I'm sure that JDubin can't really call unless, he has a short stack, unless he has something he wants to put his whole stack in with. If I would have limped, I could have given him free flop, so I kind of eliminate him and steals 100 almost. The code here, I'm the pre-flop progressor, he shouldn't be betting into me. And really what that is, it's a sign of either, it's called a donk bet. And what it is, it could be a sign of a really, him having a big pair. He could hit the jack, he could hit the 5. I don't know, and I think it's a weird spot. I think I'm good here enough to just call. Now he checks, he slows down. I don't want to give him, if he has 2 over cards by 7s, I don't want to give him a free next card. Probably, if he even just had a 5 in his hand, I'm just going to bet a tiny bit into him. If he has 2 overs, I'll be able to fold. Ooh. That raise is very peculiar. And I'm almost sure now that he probably has the jack in his hand. Oh, that's such a hard slot. Such a weird line, too, actually. I don't know what he has. I'm gonna show, hoping he'll show back. Not because I want to show, but because he can show. That's hard. I lost a lot of money in that hand. I don't know. I wish I did know. I could learn a lot from him if he showed. Oh well. But I'm still, even though my stack, I still have 15 big blinds, and I guess I have to look to get my money in good at some point. And I really don't like to get my whole stack in. I'm one of those people that doesn't like to, let the cards roll and hope for a double up unless I absolutely have to, because there's so much more money in in just exploiting weak play. So until I get below to a really desperate spot, especially since in this tournament it was kind of turbo-ish, and everyone's gonna be getting to a spot like that later on, I'd rather just let it ride and wait for a hand whenever I can do that. So I'm not gonna be able to see cheap flops for a little bit here. Probably I'm just gonna make it boring to watch. Like I can't limp here or whatever. I just better just let it go. Cobwebs is right. Ooh. I sense a big hand coming up, just based on the fact that these players are both a little bit on the tighter side. They're both being involved in the big pot. I would hit my 6 with the paired 8. That could have been a good double up opportunity, possibly, if somebody had. Maybe not. Who knows what they had? Queen 9. I'm in the big blind. I'm hoping that Faded Fish is on. Let's give up another 100. I can't call that, obviously, but yeah. I think he knew that too. I think he knows that I'm a player that wouldn't call him that spot unless I had a big pair. And I think that he just knew that stealing the blinds once makes such a big difference for his stack. That he should be betting there and whatever. Rookman checks. Cobwebs is up. Yeah, and he bets 2/3 the pot. It's just a C bet, or not C bet, but it's just a bet. And that's I guess a C bet actually. See, now I have a 10-4. Like if I can hit a good double up hand, I would be happy to try to double up once, but. And maybe I could just steal the blinds along the way, but I just need a hand like that, and this is a good time to do it against tighter players all around here. It's all straight up as tight players. If I can hit, a marginal hand with nobody entering the pot, even like, an ace-5, ace-6, I don't mind just shoving and hoping they fold, and I'll have some equity against, the hands I'll be calling with. Because the blinds are going to go up again soon, and it'll probably be 150 or whatever, and I'm going to be really short at that point. King Jack, this King Jack. Ooh. See, I was gonna do it right then. I was thinking about doing it right then, not betting all in, but maybe just doubling the big blind and, hoping they fold. Maybe code will call. This kind of takes that play away from me. I don't have any way or reason I would call. I mean, if I do, I'm risking a lot, too much, and this is just harsh, like, just the amount. It might be a good thing. Make it so I'm probably not playing against that. So the players, hard players, if I can do that. Donkatronic is sitting to my right. He's excellent player. Probably one of the best players on the site, and I mean he's phenomenal. T.O. Nelson's pretty good player. I think he's won the mods, or maybe he's not won the mods actually. Never mind. Yeah. And you see those Twinkies here, it's a huge stack. And I'm not sure how he acquired, such a big stack, but I'm sure he's probably the chip leader. Yeah, he is. So, I think that's going to be an interesting element, too. I haven't played a ton of him, I don't think. I'm waiting until stats pop up after this hand, so I can, see if he's a really loose player, really tight player. Yeah, queens. Oh, wow, what a weird spot for queens. Here we go. I have nothing to play with here. Okay, yeah, so he's, as I thought, he's a pretty, not too aggressive, not too tight. He sees about 32% of flops, but he's pretty passive about raising pretty. I want to get more information about him, because he seems to be, I've seen him pretty big stacked last time I've seen him. I haven't played a ton of him, I just kind of avoid him in tournaments, I feel like, for whatever reason. That I avoid him, but like, I don't get put at tables with him. I played 9 tournaments with him. He wins when he sees the flop about 38% of the time. Yeah, I mean, there's not... Yeah, he's a not very aggressive player. I guess he's one of those players who lets people do the betting for him. It's kind of like CIs. I'm not sure he's like an excellent player. I'm not sure if he's playing or not. Yeah, he is. Who, I had a tournament once where the 6 players limps. He limps with aces. Never in a million years put him in aces, but I mean, for some people that style works, and CIs is an amazing player, and he probably could pull it off, and I couldn't. I wouldn't know, if somebody had 4-8 and the 4-8 on the flop, if they hit 4-8 and just limping in the small blind. I wouldn't be able to know that, but she has the ability to see that, apparently, and so props to her and for playing like that. Props to Twinkie for being able to acquire such a huge stack without even putting chips into the pot, and, well, probably not, at least do it normally. And, I'll just play my way, they'll play their way, because I can't play like that. Okay, and now we get a major dorks, limps, the man or whatever, raises a lot. That's, Donk's a really tight player, so if he has any interest in this hand, yeah, he has probably a monster. Yeah, ooh, really? I'm not sure if that's the right play or not, but I mean, I can see why he's getting short stacked. I don't know if I agree with that play. No, I like Donk. He's a really nice guy. And then, this is like such an ugly hand to have in the big blind right now. It's so short. I think that's probably what Donk was realizing too. He needs. I mean, when you get a hand, I think we're kind of getting to the point where we need to double up soon, which is frustrating, but yeah. And Donko with the stat is like the most threatening thing in a poker tournament. Like, just he is so good when he has a big stack. I mean, like, scary good. I kind of don't want to be to his left now, but whatever. We can't play against him in our other position. And Tino and him are both really tight, so I have a good spot here to steal blinds. So I have A4, and I can't really do that now, but next time around, if I have even like a Queen 8 type of hand, I can probably steal the blinds pretty easily. Especially since Tio doesn't have a ton of extra chips just to be limping around with. Yeah, let's just check that. Double up would be nice soon. I'm just kind of not having any action to share with you guys. I would love a double up, so yeah, I'm desperate here. 5-4. This is an ugly set of cards I'm getting. I just wanted to point that out, just so you guys all know, because I mean, I'm not used to being in the spot like this so early. I kind of got a bad spot with cards, so I'm just gonna go with it at this point. I'm kind of double thinking things done earlier, but I don't know if I've done that much wrong. You guys can comment and tell me my mistakes if you want. Yeah, I made major jokes, so he hits a 3. Wow. Wow, when you're running that good, jeez. These guys are just running wow up in that top left corner. Like, how do you play against that? Jesus. I'm sure that Major Dorks is gonna probably give a ton of the chips to Twinkies at some point. Well, Twinkies just sits there and calls him. Wow, Twinkies raised pre-flop. That's a really rare occurrence when I had 10, damn it. Twinkies probably has a monster. It's just, I guess. Yeah, I might use Twinkies. They can be aggressor. And so it's just very different. So, wow, what's he have? Ace King, yeah. And that doesn't surprise me. And Major Dorks gave away a ton of chips. He had 9-7. He actually didn't have a made hand on the river, did he? Oh, wait, what's the board? What's the board? Oh, there was a 7 on the board. And then it was a 10-8. Okay. Oh. See, and if Donka folded, I would have just shoved. With Donka doing that, it takes the play away from me. And I'm really gonna need a double whip soon. This is a spot where I would consider it if it wasn't such an early position. I really need a spot. I guess we're gonna see, 4-way flop. It's kind of interesting that TL limps. I haven't seen him limp a ton. I don't know what that means as far as the strength of his hand. Yeah. Chiefs another 7 big blinds here. Blinds gonna be up again soon. Hand would be lovely. Yeah, I'm sure TL that's a monster here. Or wow. Okay. The Major Dorks is just giving away a stack. It's kind of what I thought would happen if he got chips. Just watching. So Andrew, who's been really just not active at all, and he hasn't been raising much, he clearly has probably a big hand in that spot. So that's interesting, that he would be raising there all of a sudden out of the blue. I've not seen him raise much at all, especially in early position. So he's probably sad he just got the blinds with whatever he had. Maybe not. Maybe he likes that way. Fine. Yeah, I don't really want to give away another 150. What can I do with 10-4? Like, the sooner I get in a hand, the better. I haven't been getting a hand. Pretty card dead. At the wrong time. I'm just gonna let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. It's just frustrating. What can I do? And hopefully people will drop like flies soon. Oh god, I've been like one of the last chip positions. I'll probably be like second to last after 150 gets subtracted from my total. I think blind. That's a weird hand actually. The Major Dork is giving away more chips. And now Andrew is in, big blind. He's a tight player. It actually would fold around here. I'm not sure if it will, but ooh. Please don't go fold. If he limps, I'm still gonna shove. Because he raises most of the time when he plays. That's a hard spot. Because I'm sure that he'd be limping. Because, he has a pair. I'm putting a double think this. He probably has a small pair or something. I don't have a ton of extra chips. I don't think Andrew will call. If I have to get him a handy in 40-60, I think I don't have much of a choice at this point. Yeah, he calls me with he has 10-9. Ooh, I have his 10 covered. Come on. King ball. Oh god. Okay, thank goodness. Yeah, I'm probably gonna be like the next person like on online that's just gonna be like made fun of for counting up for cards or whatever. No, I could maybe win more if he had double bet that. I need to like raise most time when he plays. Again, I still only 13 blinds. I really just need to double up. I may not need double up. I need a few more chips than what I have before I can start just seeing marginal flops again. I'm probably gonna need still blinds once or something. Kind of really want Major Dorks to move to new table or to bust, I guess, if that's him, because he's kind of gonna be in the way of being able to steal at least blinds. And, from like and on the button, I'm fine, but from 1 or 2 spots over, or even 3, it's gonna be really hard to steal blinds with a player like him sitting there. And as I say that, he picks up more chips. And Jack Straw and who else? And Lions for we were excited a little bit earlier. Jack Straw is a really good player too. I mean, I don't think he's anywhere near as good as Donga or T.O. Nelson, but he's a solid player, and he has consistent results on this site. More so than I do, for sure, at least. I think a lot of people do. I haven't had very many results on this site yet, but that's going to change right now. Starting right now. I've won like $50 in free rolls, and I've redeemed for about 25. I've had carbon gift cards once, but nothing extreme. Over the whatever's been like 2 and 2.5 months I've done. I could have stole there if Major Dorks was at our table. He's going to take the play with me a lot. I wouldn't have hit anyways. He would have stacked me. Or not stacked me, he would probably just shoved me. If he had been forced to fold, or gamble, depending on how much I should put in pre, but I don't think I would put in enough to risk it. Now, we'll see. Yeah, so, oops. I mean, I'm still really short stack compared to the averages, compared to everyone else, and compared to the big blind, which is probably most important. But in the blinds are up to 100, 200 now, and it's like, and they can go up one more time, and I may have to, in like, whenever it's like 15 minutes, I'm gonna have to, start worrying about putting in antes, which is going to be really, really frustrating if I don't get a bigger stack by then. But at the same time, I'm in, and I have, healthy enough stack to the point at which I can wait for, not a hand like King 9 this time, hopefully, unless I'm really card dead for a long stretch. Because, I don't want to, have to risk my money as a flip or as a 40, 60 type hand at all. But if I absolutely have to, what am I going to do? So, I don't know. If the spot comes around the next time around and my button or my small blind to steal some lines, that keep me afloat and keep me right around where I'm at too. But, how much longer am I going to be able to rely on things like that to help me when these blinds are escalating so quickly is, another thing to think about. And, any ace, other than maybe an ace deuce, ace 3, ace 4, ace 5, I guess too, ace 6 is borderline. And any King 10, King Jack-ish range or better, depending on my spot too. I'm first to act, and I'm not in the small blind. I'm in let's say hijack or cutoff, or any pair, I guess. Especially, I'll probably just shove you if Major Dorks is there, because Now this is a spot where I don't want Major Dorks is going to get involved so much of the time, and I don't have enough chips to be looping around. But at the same time, I feel like with I want to see Major Dorks because he's been shoving most of the pots to entering as of really lately. I'm just going to limp. If I hit an ace or a queen, I'm just shoving. Pretty much. I mean, it's just very few exceptions. If it's 3 spades or something, I might have to slow down. But I feel like, I could maybe win a small pot here and be okay again. And relatively speaking, 10 big blinds and 8 big blinds, 9 big blinds are going to be about the same desperation at this point. And I mean, I'm going to be able to have just so much time, I'm running out of time. And that's a flop that, I mean, it's not a bad flop for against one player with ace queen, but against 4 players, that's going to be hard. I can't really bet. I mean, I can, but I can't. I mean, it's not a good play. I think I'm going to have to just, and maybe a shoving pre would have been better there. But with 8 players left deck behind, and players like Major Dorks who are Twinkies, or, who are probably going to call me down with practically like a King 8 or Queen 9 hand, I just have a hard time risking it. Twinkies hasn't been our line at all. I'm sure he actually has a hand here. I have to just give up 200, and I'm not sure if there's a better way to play the hand. I could have even just folded. It seems so nitty, but I don't know how to play that there. And, I easily could have gotten the flop like Queen 8-4, or Ace 9-3, and I could just shipped it, but it wasn't to be there. And hopefully I'll get a hand like that eventually. And I really want Major Dorks to be moved so badly. I can't even tell you how badly I want him to be moved, because he's going to be taking so much of the play away from me. And having players like him at the table, you need double up, are so frustrating sometimes. I mean, and it's silly that you're so frustrated over a bad player, but I mean, what can I do? And ooh, this is so hard. I mean, if it wasn't under the gun, this would be a simple move, but I mean, I have to fold it because I can't risk my tournament. I can, but I really don't risk my tournament on a flip. And I mean, I'm better than more players here that I'm not better than. I feel like trying to get my money on the flip isn't worth it, and I still have time, and I don't. And patience, the virtue, and I mean, it can be a disciplined laydowns like that. I guess. From my point of view, it's so frustrating to see hands like they're just so marginal like that. And if it was something like 5s or 6s, and maybe I would think about it a little bit harder, but I don't know. Maybe good because Donk has a hand here, looks like, or maybe he just senses that feels to do that week. I don't know. And he gets some free chips. 200 Donk his way. Good for him. I always like what he wins. I don't know why. But it was just him and LCD. Don't really never talk to them that much, but both of them are really solid players. Just consistently cash, and they seem like great, nice guys. I just have to cheer for them. I could shove over the top here. I don't have a ton of extra chips laying around, but I don't think he's calling me that wildly. I could even call along, but I don't have enough chips for. I don't even know if I play it here. I'm going to call. And now he's a pre-flop aggressor. I guess I should have. Yeah, that was a really bad play. That was a horrible play, actually. I'm thinking about it. He's going to bet here with 8 2 cards. So she's just 76% C bet. You know, if I was paying attention, I should have got that. I gave away a couple hundred chips I need to give away, and that's actually a huge amount of my stack right now. Oh well. What are we doing? I just made myself really desperate again for no reason. Damn it. Damn it, damn it. Sorry, 1 second. And yeah, I have nothing here. I really need double ups, and that was kind of, I felt like I had like a couple hundred chips that were, kind of actually vital. Because I could have waited to get out of 8, so I just did 300 more or whatever, 200 more. But I kind of gave the action over, and that was a bad play on my part. I wasn't paying attention. And I'm kind of hitting myself over that now. But, if I see there, you see this a lot, most of the time. He doesn't fold the C-bets. C-bets track for SIOs. Yeah, so that was a horrible play, and I should have known better than to do that. And I was just, you're kind of thinking, like, wait, what if call's a good play? And before I fully thought it through, because running out of time, I just kind of did it. But that's part of the game. You make mistakes, you learn from them. And also Major Donks has tightened up a little bit, so, the last, 10 hands, he's probably only playing 4 or 5 of them instead of playing 7, right? Still step in the right direction, and if I hit a king or maybe some ace or pair or something, maybe I can have another shot with a shove it. I feel like my shove hands, I have such bad odds with. I was looking at my coin flip hands, and I've only won 30-something% of my coin flips on the site out of over 1,000. And times or chips like that. Funny, they shouldn't split it here. I think it was out of 1,100 of them, I've won 400-ish, and it's really? That's a fair game, but I don't know. I'm not saying it's rigged or anything. I'm not one of those people who go whine about, poker's rigged, but I just feel from my point of view, I should be winning more flips. But that's alright. I'll average out in the long run eventually. Another spot where if he wouldn't have done that, I probably could have shoved, even though I threw a discount. I'm going to be called there every single time. So I just, because I don't want to flip out, I just steal the blinds and I have that option. Yeah. And it seems like since Twinkies has gotten that big stack, he's kind of tightened up. He's been playing a lot slower than his normal stuff. That might be another thing to think about too. But shoving, your lines behind him is tight. If Major Donks has no money in, maybe it's worth it. I could even shove right here actually. The 375 and the blinds are going to be going up with antes, in whatever 6-7 minutes. This is hard. A double bet, it's even 800. I'm still going to be virtually risking my stack, and I think it might call a bunch of limpers behind. I think I'm just going to shove here. I really pray I don't get a call behind me. Major Donks would be the most likely player to call. Please fold, please fold. Damn you! Now I have to hope that my hand hits King Jack. Yeah, I would King Jack. Okay, he hits the Jack right in the window. Not surprised. And I am out of here. Fuck it. Twinkies. You saw people run. He would have had the 4. In Major Donks, obviously it's just Jack. With no time hitting his Jack. So I'm out. I lost another tournament. Hell no. But sorry about my language. Some of you might be offended by that. I had fun though, and good luck to everyone still in it. you probably won't even know this until 3 days after the tournament's over, and I want reviews on how I played. So I made some obvious mistakes on my part, but I mean, I still feel like that was a rough ride, and I'm constantly getting results that are short of what I feel like I'm able of doing, and I'm not, I didn't play it. I have potential this tournament, but I want to know, where I'm going wrong, what I'm doing wrong, and maybe 10-9 was a bad spot. I just felt so short, and I knew that, Major Donks is a horrible player, going to call me with anything, and I was so frustrated having a player like him on my left so close to me, but I mean, this isn't instant. I never had a really good spot to steal from Andrew or T.O. So, I mean, that was frustrating too. But I mean, I feel like I didn't play that bad compared to the field, and I feel like I want to do better in these tournaments because these are the one spot like of all the players I play online, the games I play online. Like I just compared to even real money tournaments, I do much worse in these tournaments specifically. And I don't understand why, and so I mean that's one of the reasons why I made this video. I want you guys to all give me your feedback on how I played, and help me find ways to improve, even if it has to work outside of the video. Because I really want to become serious about this. I really want to improve my game, in any way I can. So if you have any suggestions, any tips, anything, just comment them or whatever, and I would love to know. I'm sorry if I said anything negative or positive or in between about you as a poker player. I don't mean personally at all, and that could be very off on my thing. You can exploit me for it later and take all my money from knowing that I feel that way, but I'm just trying to get my thoughts straight together. So that's the wrap. Let me know. And if any of you guys, if any of you want to tell me, first of all, like what I said, like anything I could improve on, anything like that, any comments about want to know anything about PokerOwned, or even if you guys just want to tell me about a particular hand or about anything at all, just let me know and comment or whatever, and I'll actually probably get back to you really soon, or right away, or whatever, and I'm gonna win the next one. Peace. Ooh, stop.